trust in me, and you will find. And time goes by so naturally while you receive infinity.
Okay, Sagittarius, this is your spirituality reading for the month of March and into April. So we're going to get right into things here. The first card that we have for you from the Gaia deck for your spirituality side is your emotions card. 19 emotions. Yeah, and the sword of truth is sitting right there. So there is a truth that we need to look at here, is the sense that I get. I'm getting a lot of stuff from this card, frankly. I'm getting we're highly watched over and guided. Are we listening to that guidance? We'll see. There's a truth here that we have to deal with that I don't know, right? Because she's looking straight forward. I don't know that you're dealing with that truth at this point, but it is on your lap, so to speak. It's right in front of you. And then I'm seeing that person, you know, kind of in a, I don't know what you call that, like a state, right? And there's these dragons, and I feel like the dragon on our shoulder is the universal light energies, and I feel like the dragon on the floor that you can barely see is the dark energies, and I feel like we're flowing in between those two, and I feel like we may be somewhat unaware of predators in our midst, kind of, so to speak, if we're going with tragedy here. Now, we may be, or someone in our immediate circle may be in anguish at this time. That's the word they gave me. I feel like we are somewhat unaffected by this due to a purpose. They said there's a purpose. We are unaffected by this, and there's a reason, in a way, is the way I would word it. But they're going, there's a purpose. We are unaffected by this. I feel like this may be of the lower energies because they're connecting the lower dragon with this person in anguish. So, and I also get a sense of chaos, like this person is kind of being overly dramatic about things. And they may be led by dark energies, kind of what I'm getting, okay? Now we're holding the sword of truth. So we know the truth internally, okay? And there's some, what do you call that? Trinkets on our sword. There's a, a spiritual heart. There's a dream catcher, and there's a butterfly. So the spiritual heart means I have my heart open, and it is working, and it is beating, and it is, it is emotionally in the right place, okay? Then that dream catcher is, again, a symbol of protection for you from universal energies. I feel like, oh boy, we're going there. I feel like there might be someone around you that is really working hard spiritually to pull you down. Now, I feel like that dream catcher is a universal energy protecting you from dream time. I feel like, okay, let's say this. Does this make sense to you? Have you had a point in your life where you've had a lot of nightmares and your dream world has been a lot scarier than your reality? Take note of that and the time limit that has hit you, because they're telling me that you should no longer have these dreams coming into your being. Your dreams should have a different feel. They shouldn't have a tragic horror kind of feel to them or any kind of negativity whatsoever. Now, this butterfly is about transformation. We have to transform in the physical, emotional, spiritual selves in order to release from this. So I feel like we're knowing the difference between where we were and where we are. Again, I'm transferring from the last reading here. That transformation has happened. Don't kid yourself. But there's someone here trying very hard to pull us back into negative energy period. And they're not above using hoodoo voodoo to do it. And I say that lightly because I really don't believe in that. I believe in free will. I believe people can use their free will to go where and when they please. But some people work really hard to push energy upon us. And for a while it got through. But because we have transformed our higher heart, opened our heart center, this no longer applies. But that person may still be in our midst. And not only that, they may be still disguised as someone that is, I feel at this point, they're going through a lot of stress and trauma. Why? Because this is the result of what they have done. So that will be your litmus test there. Is somebody close to you is going to be going through a lot of rough stuff and you kind of like, holy, what's going on there? Well, it's because not only have they been pushing that energy out toward you, but they're not above pushing it out toward anybody else they don't deem, in the right form, right? So this person has done a lot of negative mind work, okay? And they're going through it at this time. And the sense is, we are removed from that person. Now, I feel like if I tell you all this, you're going to know kind of who that is or zero in on that anyway. But you being removed from them, that is no joke. Like that is seriously the protection factor here. So you're wondering why you lost touch with this person is because they're on the negative side. And we have transferred to the positive side. This is going to the divide is going to keep getting bigger. So don't be fooled to go back into something. Because I feel like on a certain heart level, we understand that this person was no good for us. But we may get feelings of nostalgia and want to go back. This is, work to, again, spiritual war, work to suppress that feeling of nostalgia. We are going in a new way, new things, above and beyond. Because they're showing me, it was a Buzz Lightyear, right? To infinity beyond what we were in before. Okay. 19 emotions. Okay, so when we get down to the basis of this card, I feel like our emotional states are changing. I feel like we're feeling drastically different about people, about our surroundings, and it is all in the evolvement of the right way. But again, it needs to be raised. It needs to be raised, to be seen, to be felt, to then make decisions from there. So, wow, okay, another powerful reading here. Here we go. Again, yeah, don't stress too much that this person is that close. They have been removed from us in our physical field, but there's an ability this person's going to want to try and come back, but they will be blocked at every turn. But, depending how desperate these people will become. So be aware of that. Okay, anybody coming in frantic energy, it's just not good. But you're going to see that coming. Right. Okay, next card. Gaia deck. Wow. Okay, 15, 16, 17, 18. Thought. Again, along with the emotion comes the thought process of putting it all together logically, right? Is this making sense? And the sense they're giving me is this person is suffering because they've made other people suffer. They've created scenarios, manipulated situations to their own benefit. And that was not for their highest good, nor is it for the other person that they're taken away from or, pushing the wrong energies into. This person was playing with people's minds, hearts, emotions. It's just all there, okay? So now, there's a thought process here of putting it all together. I feel like they're showing me all the puzzle pieces are falling onto the table and going in the exact spot that they're meant to be seen. So the bigger picture's meant to be seen. This is all, formulating for the Sagittarius. So this is good because it's starting to see our world as it truly is, no illusions, okay? Okay, the third card as we move into the future, we have the Ace of Air. I feel like the energy they're giving me is like, okay, when we speak to air, that's our thoughts, that's our mindset, that's our logic. And I do feel in the future, we're going to have to take, watch how you say that. I was going to say, watch how you use your heart, how like you're going to take your heart out of things. But that is by no means something of a long-term plan here. It's not going to benefit us in the long term. So we want to be in a position where we consider our emotions, we feel our emotions, and we move forward, including our logic, and that will be the line in the sand that we draw, is our logic. I feel like our logic is telling us here we can't go back to this. Either people or scenarios, I feel like we understand we've been manipulated in some kind of way, or we're seeing that person manipulate others. There's something here. They're going, oh no, this person, if they're doing that to somebody else, they can't be around me. I can't do this. I can't. So this is the thing, right? This is the line in the sand we got to draw. And in the future, we're going to have to think about our emotions, but not act from them alone. Our logic is going to take over here and push us in the right direction and get us free-flowing where we need to be. Because I feel like if we bring our heart too much without our logic, right, this is the trap we could fall back into. But I feel like we're highly protected from that. And not only that, it's really going to be a turn-off to go in that direction knowing what we know. We can't possibly make that decision, is the sense they're giving me. So on top of the emotional card, the chakra card we get there is the Princess of Swords. So there's a curiosity factor in the past here that led us to some kind of information. We may have kind of looked under a few rocks here and found some information that put us on this road, on this path to uncovering all of these things, is a sense. Because the Princess of Swords, she's curious, she's looking into things, she wants to find out more. It's that kind of itch, like, okay, I'm a researcher, I'm going to get into things. So there was something here. A truth was laid, I think. It was the truth that was laid that really caused us to look deeper into something or someone or situation or a scenario. And that's just your past energy that brings you to the present. So as we move into the present, and the present is, we're thinking long and hard about all of this stuff in the past, the present, as we go in the future. And I do feel like we're trying to remove this person, this situation, the manipulation, something here. We're trying to remove it from our lives. On top of that thought process, the chakra card we get is the King of Coins. Okay, that is a grounded, stable energy. That's someone who's, large and in charge, but very proficient and also very learned. They've learned here in a slow progression. There's a slow progression here. Considering you're a fire, we've learned this in an earth kind of way, where everything, again, another stoppage of time, where everything slowed right down to a crawl so you could see everything. You could look at every little detail. And they're showing me, like in the movies, how they kind of slow things down in a thing, and this one guy's moving, but everything else is slowing down right to a crawl, and it stops. And he's moving around looking at everything. This is what I'm getting for the Sagittarius. The world has slowed down, or you slowed things down, whatever, in conjunction with, they said, the universal energy. Everything is slowed right down so that we could take in our surroundings. And it is not what we thought it was before this happened. So now we're coming out of it. Everything's starting to speed back up again. And now we're looking at this in that different perspective. Yeah. Okay. We'll leave it there. And the King of Coins, he's very much in charge of things, and he is kind of the last of the kings. I don't know, him and the King of Swords, they have a lot of wisdom to come from. I feel like that the King of Coins is more the teacher that goes out and shows everybody else. They're more inner programmed to go and show everybody else how it's done. I've learned this, so you got to learn this, which is a good phase to be in if you're in a positive pole. Okay, now, as we move into the Ace of Air, again, a great ball of energy has been laid upon us here. We have discovered, we're seeing from a different perspective, all of this. And because of this, there's things here that balancing the heart and the head have to happen. And though we are not supposed to take our heart out of it, we are supposed to use our logic at this time. of this reading. So for the next month or so, use your logic when it comes to dealing with things. And as we go forward, we'll be able to not open our heart. I think our heart is open. I think we have the ability to shut it down. But what they're saying is, don't ever use those words to the Sagittarius, because they will go out and do that. But the warning is, we got to use our logic at this time. And if we do that, we'll be free and clear of all that could pull us back into using our heart with no logic. Okay, we just want to balance it out. That's all. And, as we go forward, it is a default. The logic is engaged. We will no longer go back to things that were illogical in the heart direction. We will go, so this is what I'm getting. Okay, so the chakra card on top of the Ace of Air, the Empress, yeah. And that's, whenever I get this card from this deck in a reading, it's about learning to go out and give of your heart wholly. And it's in the beginning of the stages here, first, second, third, right? This is the third, the Empress, about giving our heart outward. It's not so much about the creativity, though that could be there as well. In this deck, it's about showing your heart to others, showing you have a heart, discovering you have a heart, and then, spreading it outward. That's really what it's about. I'm going to leave that there because that is it in a nutshell. Showing love outward, that is it. Okay, as we move into the into the Shaman card on top of the Princess of Sword, again, in the past we had something illuminated here, some curiosity. We kind of peeked our nose into something and we discovered a huge ball of stuff that has changed our perspective. On top of that, the galactic mushroom, again, man, this thing pops up. Divine Matrix. It was divinely guided. It was almost fated that you learn this information. You needed to know this before you move forward. Period. That's it. So we may have been asking for these answers inadvertently, and it kind of, we were led in the way to find them out. This is what I'm getting. And we're past the crux point of discovery. I feel like we're past the point of being really, truly, again, a lot of protection around, pulled backwards, but yet, be mindful. Use your logic. Don't go in areas deliberately that are going to pull you down type thing. Okay. So the King of Coins, what do we have? This is the present moment. We're deep in thought. We're very grounded. We're very stable. And the King of Coins, he is an authority figure, though he doesn't push it around with an ego. Unless you're looking at my Infinity Masculine deck. There's a little bit of an ego there. But anyway, the King of Coins usually has a stable energy and a quiet confidence that he goes outward in. And those around him that want to learn, he'll show them. And those that don't deserve it or don't want it, he doesn't bother with that. He's smart enough to know the difference. So on top of that King of Coins energy, the Shaman card is... Me talks. Repairing the body, mind, and spirit. Oh, this gives me a lot of light energy. Yeah. And it's interesting because it's kind of reminiscent of the first card, the thought card. So I'll bring these two back and look at the colors, the green and the yellow popping out. There's a lot of wonderful feelings, enlivening, rejuvenating, revitalizing energy that's coming from this card. And the fact is like now we know who our enemies are, where maybe we didn't before, and we were kept tumbling and falling and da-da-da. And it was because we were entrusting in those that were ready to foul us up, right? Trip us up. So I feel like there's a freedom that comes with realizing this, because now I know who was working against me. And now I don't have it no more, so I don't have to deal with it. Like, it's a freedom of this. I'm getting this. And also, right, being the King of Pentacles, he has come to a precipice here where he's dealing with his own life in his own way and coming to his own decisions. And I feel like there's some kind of energy sitting there like that. Like, people maybe had put so much energy against me. I was making decisions for others. And now I'm not doing that anymore because I'm priority, in a good, healthy way. And the Me Talks, yeah, is basically the surrounding energy that I get from it is I am detoxing from people in my life that were creating trouble for me. And I'm starting to flush all that away, and this is all good and great and wonderful. So that's good. That is good, because ultimately that's what this time is for, because we got to clear the past so we can get our divine unions into play here. Okay, this is all good. As we move into the future, again, the air sign, the ace of air, using our logic, and not only that, balancing it with our heart and going outward. On top of that, the shaman card we get is lost in space, needing direction. Having a little trouble going to be coming up in the future. Now, I don't feel it's heavy. I feel it's just kind of old conflictive ways. I feel like our mindset is still in fear of something here. Which is interesting, because in our core, we know different. But it's like our body shudders when we go to make that decision. I feel like we're internally, we know this is where I need to be, this is where I need to do, go, see, whatever, go after. But there's still a fear of taking that step in the physical world and doing that. Okay? Now, needing direction. Usually if you are in an advanced stage, or you are working on your healing and whatnot in these areas, which I do feel, the curiosity to uncover what's, because we could go bumbling mindlessly through life. We're just not going to get anywhere. And I feel like the Sagittarius is sick of that. I think that's what the whole crux of this thing is getting underneath, trying to find out why. And they found out why, and they've removed those things that were blocking them. And now they're ready to go forward. But that first step forward, they're just kind of, there's trepidation there or something. This is the lost area, the lost space. So I feel like there's something here blocking them from actually going in the physical world in this way. But I feel like everything else around them is prepared for this. So we'll leave it at that. It's coming close to the completion factor, and they know once they step their foot in the physical world, this completion is done, and I feel like they're kind of just, am I doing the right thing? This is what I'm getting. So the animal card is shut her down. Sag, intense. 35, the bison, talking about ritual. Wow, there's a lot of bright blue in here. The number comes down to 8, and yeah, this is the 8th year. And what is it? Ritual. I feel like they want you to set up how would I word that properly? They want you to set up, I don't like the word ritual because it usually is attached to something negative. But they want to set you up a system of tapping into these thought-provoking energies, where we sit at the end of the day and either analyze our day, analyze the people in our day, the situations in our day, the scenarios in our day. I remember them talking to me about this too. Because it was a point in my life where I was just do, and then at the end of the day, you go to bed, you wake up, do, you go to bed, you wake up, do. You're not processing your day. They want to set up, like I'm talking spiritual energies, but it can be your mindset as well. Just set up a time in the day. For hardcores, it'd be a spirituality kind of meditative mode. For people that are just wanting to be mindful, it's a point in your day where you analyze. Usually by the end of the day, whether you're coming home from work, maybe just going to bed, where you look over your day's events and you analyze it. And you go, what happened today? Did I have a good core relationship with the people around me? Was I giving, or were they taking too much? Was I, just analyzing and looking at how your life is going and being aware of what is going on. Because I feel like this was lacking in the past. We're just too busybody, too hamster wheel, not doing it. And we need to do this in order to see more clearly so we don't get tripped up. We had a trip up here. We had something we had to get rid of. We didn't know we had to get rid of it. Why? Because we're not taking account of our day on a daily basis, this kind of thing, or a weekly, whatever it is. They're going, we would think that for this Sagittarius, it would be beneficial, I'm translating, for them at the end of the day to rerun their day and give themselves a score on 1 to 10. How did I do by myself? Meaning, by my own standards, how do I think I did through this day? And in that time and energy, you can connect with higher energies, and they can also infuse you with because you are following instinct. You are, whether you want to admit that or not, you are, and you can go through your day, and you can also get inspirational thoughts of how to make it better, how to move forward, and it just needs a quiet time at the end of the day to refresh your mind of how did I do today? Was I good to people today or wasn't I? Did I, overstep my boundaries, or did I keep my, everything in check? That's all they want you to do. They want you to do that on a daily basis, like some kind of a ritual, right? Again, I don't like that word. It kind of has a negative connotation, but some kind of moment through your day where you're accountable for your actions, really, is what it is. Okay. And that is the bison. And the bison is big, and it can be very overwhelming and very in your face, but the energy I'm getting here is curiosity of life and how I live it, and how in my world, how am I doing? Well, use your own judgment. Start from there. And then through that ritual process, you will connect with energies that can give you influence outside of yourself to help you along that path. As long as you're tapping into positive energies while you're doing it. I mean, if you had a negative day and you're going over it, how could I make it better? This kind of thing. Okay, that's what they want you to do. Okay, wow, that was heavy. A little trippy. I went in there a little far. I think it's because I can empathize, because there was a point in my life that they were telling me to do that as well. Okay, so anyway, back at it. Now, planetary zodiac, here we go. What do we get for the closing card? Sun in Capricorn, 10, status. Work diligently towards your goals, and you will get where you need to be. But be accountable for your actions along the way. And if we make inaction, like if we do something that we kind of don't approve of, then the next day try and fix that. That's all they're saying, is just try to make yourself better bit by bit. And if we go daily at this, daily routine of overviewing our own day and going, yeah, I could have done that better. And then the next day trying to incorporate that, isn't that evolving, right? All of this, it's coming to see. So the sun in Capricorn, that's full on energy. And Capricorns, again, working diligently toward what we want. And status. Yeah. And I feel like what's going on here is your worthiness. I feel like going over your day would create the worthiness of the status that you're trying to connect to. Because I feel like there may be part of you that's like, has no accountability, doesn't know where they stand, doesn't acknowledge where they stand, good or bad. So they want you to take note of that for yourself. Look at what you did. Be proud of yourself for the things that you should be proud for. And try and resolve those things that you didn't like. And there's always another day. There's always a fresh slate that we wake up to. That's why we sleep, is to get this fresh slate, right? To move forward. We have a bad day. The next day can be better. And that's the contrast we need to work harder to get where we want to be. So, wow, Sagittarius, that was very powerful. And this could be in a business sense as well. This could be someone who, in private, they don't take account of their actions, but in business, they want to take more of a fine-tuned account of how they go about things. And if this is the case, this is the solution. They're going. Take account of your day every day. It's like, you know what? It's like me looking and reviewing my videos. There's a point there where I could just, send out the information and let them go. But I review them and I go, do I find it entertaining? I don't know. Or, I find that annoying. I'm saying too much, which I still can't get. That's something I can't get out of my vocabulary. Those pauses. But you're always trying to make yourself better. For people like me, it takes a long time. We just can't get there. But if you're working at it, you're working at it. You're putting energy towards there and you will accomplish. And if you got Capricorn energy behind you, they do nothing but accomplish shit. So just go there and do that. Again, set up a ritual for your day that makes you aware of how your behavior affected others. That's all. And ultimately, that's where, when you go to heaven, that's what you have to answer for. How did you affect other people? Were you a boss that went around and just do this, do that, and you don't give back to those people? You don't compensate? Not that that should be compensated for. That shouldn't even be there. But again, if we overview and go, oh yeah, it was harsh, you might even go back and apologize the next day. But if someone goes around and then they don't review their life or their day, they don't think about that. They don't go and they think they're right when they're wrong. So overviewing your day, look at the things you could do better, look at the things you did good, and go from there. It's almost like somebody's trying to make a baseline here and go forward and raise that baseline. That's what I'm getting. So good luck with that, because I feel like the universal energies are wholly behind you. They want to help you in any way you can. So if you set up that ritual, that will be where they connect to you. So take care, have fun, and be kind, and we will talk to you next month.